This is ABC15 Arizona.
Tonight on ABC15 News at 5, families have been without their November food stamps since Saturday, and food banks are scrambling to fill the need for affordable groceries. Now, communities are demanding a plan to move forward.
I don't know what they can do. I just hope that they don't starve.
And a teenage girl is in the hospital with a gunshot wound, and another teen in custody. The scene unfolding at a North Phoenix apartment complex. Arizona's Attorney General at the front of a lawsuit to block tariffs, the dual state lawsuit unfolding at the nation's highest court.
I'm Christelle Bell. It is time to go on the road. I'll tell you how you can get consumer and legal help completely free.
But first, a UPS cargo plane crash at a Kentucky airport erupting in flames. The plane crashed shortly after taking off at the Louisville airport. Authorities say the plane was headed for Honolulu. No injuries or fatalities have been confirmed yet, but UPS confirms 3 people were on board the aircraft. The FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board are investigating. Well, we have hit day 35 of the government shutdown, now tied for the longest shutdown in U.S. history. The fight hinges on the Democrats' demands to extend Obamacare subsidies and prevent health insurance premiums from soaring. The short-term funding bill that passed in the House has been shot down 14 times in the Senate. Meanwhile, at airports across the nation are feeling the impacts of the shutdown, including Sky Harbor. Both air traffic controllers and TSA agents are not being paid amid the shutdown. We're seeing hundreds of flights either delayed or canceled today because of staffing shortages. And also tonight, tens of millions of Americans are left without critical food assistance after SNAP funding ran out over the weekend. President Trump suggesting on Truth Social this morning that the White House will not comply with a court order to partially fund SNAP benefits this month. The White House press secretary later walking back the president's post.
The administration is fully complying with the court order. I just spoke to the president about it. The recipients of these SNAP benefits need to understand it's going to take some time to receive this money.
Many Arizona families are wondering where their next meal will come from. Our ABC 15 team is covering this issue every step of the way. Rachel Louise just listening to people in our community feeling blindsided by this pause in SNAP benefits.
Hunger is a policy choice. The systems that keep families trapped in a cycle of scarcity were built this way.
Calls for full funding of SNAP continue.
When the government stops working, people don't just lose programs.
ABC 15's team coverage of the shutdown continues right now with our ABC 15 political reporter Ben Brown. Now, you may remember Governor Katie Hobbs allocated more than $1 million of state funds to help SNAP users during this time. Tonight, Ben shows us how that money is being used.
Here at Superstition Ranch Market in Mesa, people can show their EBT cards and get $40 worth of vouchers. $30 can be used on any item that's SNAP eligible in the store. $10 specifically on produce.
If you know someone who needs help, scan that QR code on your screen and that takes you directly to our website to find a full list of resources and people who are ready and want to help. Well, as we track the shutdown, we're also tracking another big headline out of our nation's capital. The U.S. Supreme Court will hear oral arguments tomorrow in a landmark case, Arizona and Oregon's challenge to President Trump's tariffs. It's a case with extraordinary implications for our economy and the scope of presidential power. Attorney General Kris Mayes is on her way to Washington for tomorrow's proceedings, although she won't be arguing in court. The lawsuit alleges the president does not have the power to impose tariffs without congressional approval.
If Donald Trump wants to enact tariffs, then do it the right way. Go to Congress. That is what our founding fathers envisioned. That's what the Constitution and statute requires.
The president imposed the tariffs after his executive orders declaring emergencies over trade deficits with other nations. At issue is a 1977 law that allows presidents to regulate imports and exports in response to national security threats. It's unclear when the Supreme Court will issue a decision, but a ruling is expected before the end of June. Well, developing now, a teenage girl is in the hospital with a gunshot wound and another teen taken into custody after a shooting at a North Phoenix apartment complex. This happening near Cave Creek and Bell Roads. ABC 15's Jordan Bonke has been monitoring that scene all day today and brings us the latest.
Well, police have kept the investigation to this apartment complex here. The suspect, they were arrested across the street over at a charter school. This is a busy stretch of Bell Road that suspect had to cross. And also that suspect, we're told by police, is a juvenile. Police were called here around.
Today is Election Day, and this is your reminder to drop off your ballot or vote in person in Maricopa County. School district bonds and override measures on ballots all over the valley. If you want your voice to be heard, you can find the closest voting location near you on ABC15.com. Now, as for the rest of the nation, seats for governors, mayors, and state Supreme Court judges are up for grabs, and redistricting measures in California could add Democratic seats in Congress. Another political headline sweeping the nation today. Former Vice President Dick Cheney has died at 84 years old. The former VP worked besides George W. Bush and is known as one of the most influential vice presidents in U.S. history. His family says he died due to complications of pneumonia, along with cardiac and vascular disease. Flags at state buildings across Arizona are at half-staff to honor Cheney's life.
Let ABC 15 know it's hitting the road, and we want you to come with us. Wednesday, November the 5th, we're hosting our semi-annual On the Road event. So just come on down to the district stage, right in the main shopping center.
Coming up, new details on a September crash that killed 2 women near Wrecker and Ray Roads as ABC 15 obtains the police report from that day. And a Tucson prisoner's death at the center of a lawsuit. His cellmate confessed to killing him, but authorities say it was something else. Now his family wants answers.
A triple shooting investigation turning into a SWAT standoff. That's where we begin tonight's 10 at 10.
It happened near Lindsay and University Drive late last night. All 3 people were taken to the hospital for treatment. Police detained 1 person, but that investigation is ongoing.
Number 2, the Marana father charged in his daughter's hot car death, accepting a plea deal. Christopher Schultez pleaded guilty today to 2nd-degree murder and child abuse. He admitted to leaving his sleeping daughter in a vehicle during 109-degree heat last July.
An update on storm damage across the state. A small West Valley community is still dealing with the aftermath after heavy rain destroyed a bridge at Beverly Road and 133rd Avenue in Goodyear. A temporary bridge is now in place.
Number 4, U.S. military killed at least 2 people in an airstrike on a suspected drug boat. This happened last night in the Pacific. It marks the 8th known strike since September in the Trump administration's war against the drug cartels.
Number 5, Russian airstrikes killed 6 people across Ukraine and injured dozens more. This as peace talks are stalling and Ukrainian leadership is urging the U.S. and others to put more pressure on Russia.
Number 6, new images tonight of a tabletop model of the new White House ballroom as seen inside the Oval Office. Construction is already underway, with the East Wing expected to be demolished by the weekend.
Story number 7, an update on the manhunt in France to find the Louvre's stolen jewels. French police found DNA traces in a helmet and gloves that the thieves used in Sunday's robbery. That investigation is ongoing as the museum opened its doors today.
Story number 8, a 9-figure donation is jumpstarting Arizona State University's new medical school. They're now recruiting students for next fall. Construction on the new downtown Phoenix school set to begin next year.
Story number 9. Former Cardinals receiver Larry Fitzgerald is advancing in the Hall of Fame consideration. Fitzgerald just entered his first year of eligibility for that honor. His name is now one of 52 that could be chosen.
Story number 10, a Mesa nonprofit is helping families facing homelessness feel the joy of Halloween without the scary price tag. Select families were invited to shop for costumes like superheroes, witches, and princesses, all for free. And that's your 10 at 10.